Lovely day. Lovely day. What y'all up to out there? Kinfo. Let me see what they talking about. Let me see what they talking about. Let me see what they talking about. Pull up a chair. Come over here to the round table. We about to break it all down. We about to break bread right now. So look, family. Y'all know how we do. I love you and myself. Nothing you can do about it. New around here, hit that sub, hit that like button, drop a comment, say what's up. It's my way of saying what's up to y'all. Make sure y'all hit the bell. Are you really playing it? No, you're not even on the board. So look, since we've been on this planet, there's been a war. There's been a war. Now, for me, in this time, right now, it's not about what it was started for. Well, I guess we can go back for it. Fuck it. Let's go. So look, let's do some simplified logic or estimation, you feel me, on how people had to come to this point in life to where we're totally dependent on specialized skill sets of people, and majority of the population don't have no understanding of these particular skill sets or these practices. Now, we've all been convinced and manipulated over the years. What's up with the love? Over the years, to believe that these people have our best interests at heart. Now, just the other day, I was listening to some people who lived during the times of the polio shot, and they said incentives were given out to people, like basically paying people to get the shot. And this was in comparison to, people being paid or given free weed and all kind of stuff to take the shot nowadays. So we doing this comparison or correlation as to say, like, what's the big deal about people taking this shot when we know it's big business whether people live or die? To take advantage of the organs of the dead as well as the organs of the living. Now, mind you, keep in mind the origins of our contacts with people, the people that we modernly term as Caucasians, or let's just say other ethnic groups. Now, these people will later separate from us and develop their own cultures based on what they can remember of the original culture. But a lot of these people were forced out. And when I say forced out, man, it's no excuse. So what I will say, for ignorance sake or lack of understanding on how to deal with these people per se, that was forced out. A lot of these people were killed as babies, but over time, certain groups of them was grouped together and allowed to exist by certain people that were more forward thinking. But mind you, these people were reminded that if they was to leave, or if they was to be caught by other people, they would potentially be, done away with, killed. So I'm saying all of this to say, and we can go in a much more in-depth history of this as time come along, maybe on one of our Growing with Goals session. But saying all this to say, like, when you have origin stories or histories with people, you can't forget that shit just because you need some help. And most of all, learn from the mechanic situation. You know, a lot of us, peace family, make sure you say what's up in the comment when you come in, hit that like button. A lot of us have learned that lesson of when I go to the mechanic, I need to have an idea of what I need done. Okay? So, in that sense, you know, you go in there and get done what you need and still be able to move along. But of course, this mechanic, a lot of times, especially at the more popular shops, they'll run a full diagnostic because they got the machine, you feel me? And they'll tell you, hey, you might have came in for 2 things that you feel like you need done. And yes, these 2 things will keep your car rolling. But this all the other stuff we found, you feel me? So, over time, people thought about it, only to come find out from talking to other mechanics, as well as using their own logic, a lot of this shit was being overpriced. A lot of this was a result of mechanics realizing people just didn't understand the reality of their lives, like dealing with cars and shit. So they would take advantage of that. Now look, what I'm trying to say is, given with the history of human nature and how we have dealt with things, you cannot forget for 2 seconds that none of these motherfuckers smarter than you. Not to be combative on some, man, I don't believe nothing nobody say. No, but be open-minded and receptive to that makes sense and logic. Because for one, in order to cure, heal, treat, there's a process that it must go through. A logical process that the body must go through, you feel me? As well as should have been a logical process of treatment that was developed, you feel me, with the parents. Not a doctor putting it up on himself to develop it on his own. And don't get me wrong, a lot of these doctors, they come and they dealing with people who have no clue of what they need or what they want. So a lot of times the doctors gotta, you know, formulate a playbook. But what I noticed is, when I went in there, having the understanding of what I wanted done with my kid, given the fact that this doctor was able to notice through emotional intelligence that me and my ex-wife wasn't on the same page, he said to me, when I was telling him what I needed for my child, he said to me, respectfully, I appreciate what you're saying, and said, respectfully, I appreciate what you're saying, and proceeded to scoot up to my ex-wife and touch on the knee. Man, we'll get into that. We'll get into how this formulates a certain euphoria within a woman who is distrusting of one man and basically bypassing this father to go straight to the woman. No different than a mechanic will take full advantage of who he think don't know shit? The woman. And here it is, the woman to leave her goddamn self susceptible to the shit. All the while, thinking this motherfucker give a damn, whole time, this motherfucker scamming. You feel me? And he looking at her face saying, what's up with your dumb ass? I'm gonna talk to your dumb ass, cause I know you gonna let it slide. What's up with it, fam? I know you gonna let it slide. For as much as you sitting there, okay, taking in everything this doctor's saying, you need to pay attention to the game this doctor playing. Man, it's been called out, man, how these doctors and the practice period, because like I don't even want I ain't got time to be playing the blame game, for real, for real. Cause I'm just gonna show you how these doctors don't got time to know all the shit they wanna act like they do. But once you only know what you know, a lot of times to puff yourself up or to make yourself seem important, you have to capitulate as though what you know is all there is to know. And for some people who have no clue logically on how things must go in order for it to work, they just lend themselves to people who appear to know. So as much as most people in your life, you feel like know everything, a lot of times it's really just a matter of confidence. And I know people who don't give a damn about consciousness. I know people who don't give a damn about consequence that appear. I just say it like this. There are certain plants that look just like other plants. But if you was to take the knockoff from the other plant, majority of the time it'd be poisonous. So, just like arrogance can appear as confident, the arrogance of somebody being able to, or arrogance is usually spawned from somebody being able to have a said authority without question. But the moment that you question that authority, you will see whether or not this person is really confident about what they're saying. Because if they're arrogant, they will find a way around it rather than addressing it. And when I addressed this man, I think he, like I said, he never responded back. All he said was respectfully, I appreciate what you're saying. Like I told him, you know, if you can't show me, like I play half dumb with him, but I went country dumb with him, you feel me? Just let him know I ain't that dumb. I told him, I said, shit, ain't nobody been able to show me how that's the best thing for my child. You feel me? Of course I want to do what's best for mine. So he say, respectfully, I respect where you coming from, and proceeded to talk to my ex-wife about treatments moving forward. But you can't explain why you said later on you would continue to suggest to give my son a shot when you find out he has not taken them shots. That should have been a red fucking flag, my nigga. When the nigga say, I understand you don't want me at your house, but you know, I'ma suggest that I be there strongly. Like, man, but don't disrespect me by trying to undermine my intelligence. And I need my people to be sensitive enough to recognize when people are trying to undermine your intelligence. We figure, and these motherfuckers is, you know, they higher than the mechanic. Because they get paid more than the mechanic. But you know why? Because niggas is scared more about losing their life than losing their fucking car. But guess what else happens when you scared? Your scary ass don't think straight. And when your scary ass ain't thinking straight, guess what? You susceptible. You susceptible to any and everybody. No different than when the body is out of balance. It's susceptible to any and all diseases. So when you have a child that hasn't been eating right, you feel me? Basically malnourished, you know what I'm saying, eating, and liquid intake has been terrible. You know, they're out of balance. And that's a scary place for the body to be, making it more susceptible to disease. But when the body is able to push these things out, like when we see a cold Well, when we recognize we got a cold, it's already because the body has put a concentration or a focus on the inflammation and put that shit in one spot where it can directly evict that shit. So by the time you get the coughing, you just need to leave the body alone. Because the body already is evicting, no problem. But instead, what we do is, we try to numb our pain. And a lot of times, we prolong the process of the healing. You feel me? Shout out to the family coming in. Make sure y'all hit that like button and drop a comment. When you prolong the process of healing, you compound your issues too. You feel me? Another thing I want to leave y'all with, family, as I always say, get your prescribed exercises in, man. Gotta move around. Cause I'm telling you, inactivity, shit, is the friend of fear. Inactivity, it bring you down, man. But getting active is the friend of confidence. Because through experience, one develops a true confidence in their ability. You feel me? Confidence in their ability to figure it out. And hey, I ain't the one to brag, but my confidence is legit. I've done it multiple times. Or should I say, like my elders would say, logically, I've created an environment multiple times for the body to do what it naturally does. And like I'm saying, if somebody's immune system is intact and it's doing what it naturally does because you obviously see the body pushing it out, then it's no point in getting in the body's way. Only thing you can do is keep that person hydrated. Same way they're gonna do at the hospital, bro. And again, it don't mean they don't do nothing, right? Because they did remember some of the things that they was taught in life before they was pushed out. But there's also a lot of things, bro, they weren't able to comprehend. And a lot of these things require certain things within for you to even get. So I need you to go within so you can get what I'm saying, my friend. I don't hate you. Or else I would have never took the time to say to you, I love you as myself, and it ain't nothing you can do about it. It's we are one. Kinfo. Let me see what they talking about. Let me see what they talking about. Pull up a chair, come over here to the round table. We about to break it all down. This has been a Black's Rehab moment. If you listen right now, I appreciate you for getting to the end of this video, as well as I would ask that you send positive energy to my son. Send positive energy that he be edified better than he began. Send positive energy that he's allowed to continue to grow. And he understands what his pain is for.